mira, bobo. Anda para allá, bobo.
Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SoFlo Soccer channel. My name is Matt, and we are previewing tomorrow's MLS game against the Columbus Crew. Two undefeated teams in the Eastern Conference going at it. This is going to be a pretty big match. I know I say that a lot of these MLS games are not really as important in the long run, which in reality they are. With this game, it's going to be a lot different. Like I said, two undefeated teams. These are two, like, probably one of the best teams in, if not MLS, then definitely the Eastern Conference specifically. But we're gonna get into a couple of things today. We're gonna talk about Robbie Robinson retiring. We're gonna talk about Lionel Messi, his talks or his comments about returning to Barca or playing in the World Cup. We'll get to that, and then we'll look at training and some players that are going to be available or not available tomorrow, or not. Tomorrow, not available tomorrow, and then we'll do our predictions as usual. We'll do some a little bit of analysis, or I guess a scouting report on Columbus and us, and then we'll wrap it up with some predictions like we always do. So without further ado, hopefully everybody's been doing really well. I've been trying to set up a little bit of the stream today and making sure just have everything going. But Natalia is already here saying we're playing Columbus Crew next. Gustavo says easy peasy. Fridays, the new Mondays, and we're working late. I mean, yeah. So today was a long day. Today and tomorrow are going to be really long days for me. Sunday obviously is off because of Easter, but I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm home. I'm glad that I'm prepping this for you guys, and we're having this live discussion and. Right before the weekend, Fridays are the new Monday. Baltasar can go back to Argentina. That's the thing with Baltasar. It's weird. Well, I'll get into it in a second. What I get from Messi's interview is that he wants to go back to Barcelona. We need to make this match a statement win, build our confidence for CCC semifinal. I like that. But let's talk about one thing first. I want to talk about Robbie Robinson retiring from professional football. I think this is so sad, guys. Like, if for those of you who don't know, Robbie Robinson, he was our first ever draft pick for this team, like for Inter Miami. Like, he was our first ever draft pick. He was essentially supposed to be like a Yannick Bright. Like, this guy was supposed to be really good for us. He played at Clemson, like a high D1 school, really good soccer school. And he's just been suffering with injuries for like the last 4 or 5 years, and he has barely been given a chance to really do anything or like kind of make a name for himself, at least in the MLS. But if we go down to his stats, I mean, yeah, he played for Clemson. He was our first ever draft pick, and he played 61 total games, and that's including two games in MLS Next Pro. He has 7 goals, 2 assists, about 2,800 minutes in the last 4 years. Like, that's really, obviously that's not good, but he's just been suffering with so many injuries. It just really sucks. Like, I feel really bad. Robbie Robinson was somebody, just a kid. I mean, he still is a kid. He's like 25, 26. He's 26 years old. He's very young, and it just sucks that he has to retire so young, and he didn't really get a chance to play a proper, I guess, professional soccer / football career. So I feel bad for Robbie Robinson, and I mean, hopefully with whatever he does in the future, it goes well. And I mean, honestly, I'll probably DM him in a couple, maybe in a couple months, I'll DM him and be like, hey, like, what have you been up to these last couple of months since your retirement? I don't know. We'll see if he answers back. We'll see what we can come up with there. So I just wanted to quickly talk about that before we get into anything. But let's get into what are the comments about Baltasar and the rest of the players who are not going to be available for this game against Columbus. This, from my understanding, it's the what's it called? The players who are not going to be available are Baltasar, are David Ruiz, and I literally just had it open here. If I go back on X, I'm going to be able to find it. But we have like a couple of players. Baltasar was one of them, and it caught me so off guard because I'm like, Baltasar literally just joined us. So it's like, how on earth did he already suffer? I think it was a calf injury. Here it is. Here, let me show you guys this. He like already suffered a calf injury. And I'm like, dude, like you've barely been here. So this is the match report for match day 9. Let's go down to Inter Miami down here. So David Ruiz is still out on the hamstring. Baltasar is out with the hamstring. Ryan Sailor is still out. And then we have now Federico Redondo is questionable with the hamstring. I didn't know anything about this Redondo injury. Don't know about that. Like, I don't know if you guys heard anything about that, but honestly, I don't mind it because I'd rather not see Redondo play, to be honest. I'd rather see Busi and Bright. And but I'm just like questioning the Baltasar thing because it's like, why are you out? Like, everybody's really anticipating. Okay, what the hell just happened? Everybody's really anticipating Baltasar to make his debut for Inter Miami. And now that he's all of a sudden like just out with this like mysterious hamstring injury, just like, it's just very suspicious. I don't know. I don't want to say suspicious. Like, I don't think it's like he obviously probably got injured, but it's like, how many training sessions did you have that you like got injured? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Let's see. Speaking of injuries, Neymar is injured again. Sorry, out of topic. Just saw it on the news. Really, that's probably why we didn't sign him. Actually, speaking of Neymar, I'll come back to this, Natalia. I'll come back to this because it's not off topic. Redondo is questionable, and the rest are out. The rest of the outs are out with hammy problems. Baltasar already injured. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, it's I don't know, like, how hard are you training that you're already getting a hammy? Like, you're already pulling hammies. I don't care if we lose tomorrow. We better rotate some players. I don't want any excuse for the Vancouver game, says Skrilla. He's injured himself processing the papers. Yeah, I think on the flight, he probably hurt himself on the like as he was stretching. He probably didn't get enough leg room on the plane. So, you know, when you have to go for those big stretches, like he accidentally just pulled a hammy. But speaking of injuries and speaking of Neymar, this is also what Inter Miami did like 2 hours ago. Inter Miami have acquired another international roster slot from the Portland Timbers, Phil Neville's team, for $270,000 in GAM, in 2025 GAM. This is kind of big. I don't know if this is just to make up for the Baltasar deal or to make up for the Obando deal. I honestly thought we had enough international roster slots for everybody, but apparently we didn't. Either we didn't or we're trying to cook something. Like, if this is like, I honestly thought we had an international slot already for Baltasar. So when I saw this, I'm like, wait, is this for Baltasar or is this for something else? So, because like I already started thinking, I'm like, oh, damn, like maybe the De Bruyne, maybe the Di Maria thing is going to go through with the new slot. But at the end of the day, like I'm assuming this is for Baltasar. Sean says overpaid again. The international slot is for Baltasar. That's Di Maria's spot. Sean, overpaid. Nobody giving international slots right now. Yeah, I think 270 is is probably the price you'd be paying at this point. I think in preseason you probably get like what, 180. I mean, like, just for like maybe you'll probably pay 100 grand less like before the season. But I think at this point you get what you get, almost 300K for a roster slot at this point in the season, and just like a straight up trade international roster slot for a money. I mean, like, unless like you give up a draft pick or something, like you're gonna pay like 300K. Like that's just how it is. 150 to 170. Yeah, probably like preseason though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, like Portland, I think everybody in the league knew that Inter Miami needed a roster slot, and Portland definitely knew that Inter Miami needed a roster slot. So they were just like, yeah, like we're gonna overcharge you because we know you need it and nobody else is gonna give it to you. So give us 270,000 and you got it. So I think at this point it's like the right amount to pay, and I don't think we're having trouble with GAM money regardless. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know that we got that international roster slot. most likely it is for Baltasar, but in the beginning, that was kind of getting me excited. Just like thinking of the possibilities with, just with that essentially. But anyway, let's what else were we going to talk about? Let's talk about Messi for a bit. I want to talk about Messi because I think like this should maybe not wrap it up, but this should probably be the final talks that I have about Messi until he re-signs with Inter Miami, either in the summertime or announces that he's officially going to be playing in the World Cup. But Messi had like this whole interview. Was it today or yesterday? He had this interview recently. He was talking about a bunch of things. He was talking about his family, his kids, what he won, what he wants to win. He was asked about Barcelona. He was asked about the World Cup next year. And I want to focus on mainly Barcelona and the World Cup because we've had discussions in the past on this channel about Messi potentially going back to Barcelona, whether it was at the end of this season, for next year, on like a loan move, etc., just to give like a proper goodbye. In the beginning, I was a definite no. Like I was always like, okay, Messi is never going to go to Barcelona. Like he's not going to go back. Like under these conditions, he's not going to go back to Barcelona. And not that I don't even think Barcelona want him. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like in theory, like with financials and whatever, it doesn't matter. But then there was at some point, like I think when MLS changed the rules, their roster rules, it made it seem like Messi could be going back to Barcelona because it said like, oh, if a DP player is loaned out to a European team, then you can replace that player with another DP. So it was like, oh, okay, so if Inter Miami loan Messi back to Barca, we can bring in another DP in his place for like 6 months, aka probably Neymar or whoever. And then if like Bushi or something or Alba leaves, or like if their contract gets bought down by Tam, then we can have everybody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that. But after his comments with Barcelona, to be honest, it doesn't really seem like Messi said that he always wanted to go back to Barcelona. But that was back when he was playing in Europe. Like when he was at PSG, he wanted to be at Barca. Like he didn't want to play for another European club if it wasn't Barcelona. And so I guess that's why that one of the influences or one of the reasons why he moved to the MLS, because he just didn't want to play anywhere else if it wasn't Barcelona. And I feel like nowadays, does Messi still want to go to Barca? Not really sure. It's very difficult. I don't, to be honest, I like if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised. But I guess it depends. If it's after 2026, like if this happens, if he ends up going back to Barca after 2026, then I'd be surprised. I'd be like, damn, like that's a long ass time. Like that's like what he left Barcelona, what, 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't have an opinion on it. If it happens, it happens. I just hope that he plays with Inter Miami up until the World Cup, and then after the World Cup, he can do whatever the hell he wants. He can retire. He can go back to Barca. He can do whatever he wants. But up until, I feel like after 2026, he can do whatever he wants. But I would love to see him play for at least one more year with Inter Miami. And then, yeah, after that, he can do whatever he wants. In terms of the World Cup, yeah, I really hope he plays the World Cup. He's been hinting at it. Like he's saying that he's thinking about it. He's saying that I think that he said that he wants to, that he really, really wants to, but he mainly said that it all depends on what happens this year. So I guess in terms of fitness, in terms of him staying healthy, just I guess like overall, like how he just feels physically. If he feels good for the remainder of this year, he will most likely play in the 2026 World Cup. So I'm really hoping for the best, honestly, for his health, because I don't want him to keep getting these injuries. I don't want him to be playing these excessive minutes to risk these injuries. And you know, I don't know. I would love to see Messi play in this World Cup. I think being here in the United States, this would be the last chance for, at least for me and for many others, this would be the last chance for a lot of people to see Messi play in person forever. Like, and this will definitely be my last opportunity. The next year would be my last opportunity to see Messi play professionally with the national team, and that is that's crazy. I've had the privilege to see Messi multiple times, especially now on the regular occasion of him playing for Inter Miami in person, and that has been just a dream come true, or one of my dreams come true. I still have to meet him, or to at least take a picture with him, or get some sort of autograph. That's still something on my bucket list that I have to do. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna have to figure it out. But yeah, no, I just really hope he plays for 2026. So I hope that this year goes well for him. I hope that he can stay healthy. And then for 2026, he's fit and ready and just contribute somewhat to Argentina. He doesn't have to be the factor, right? Like, he doesn't have to be like the Messi that he always has been for this national team, and the Messi that he's been his entire professional career. But I would love to see him take that leadership role, that just that figure, that very high figure that everybody looks up to in the locker room. And whether that's on the bench, on the field, playing a limited amount of minutes, whatever the case may be, I just hope that he does that next year. But anyways, now that we got that, now that we finished talking about that, let's do like this scouting report on Columbus, because this is going to be a big game. I know, I think it was Skrilla that said that he's not really worried about this game, or like he really doesn't care and that he wants rotation. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm thinking the opposite. I've said in the past that these types of games, these regular MLS matches, literally don't mean anything. Like, it doesn't matter. Yes, you want to play for pride. Yes, you want to win every game possible as a competitive athlete. That's what you want to do. That's in your nature. And to be honest, like, it has to come out now. This is the game where we have to see the real Inter Miami players. Yes, in theory, this game essentially doesn't matter in the long run, but this matters in terms of our confidence, in terms of our pride, in terms of our morale. Like, this is a huge, huge mental game for us, because if this is not like any Mickey Mouse game that we've played in the past. Like, this is not playing, with all due respect, the Jamaican team, Cavalier. This is not playing, who did we play? Like Houston. Like, this is not even Chicago. Like, this is not any game that we have played before. This is not even against LA. And LA, they're a good team, but in my genuine opinion, this team, this Columbus team is way better. Like, this Columbus team is probably top 5 teams in the league right now. I mean, in the Supporter Shield standings, let me show you guys this. In the Supporter Shield standings, Columbus sits second. That's very impressive. In the Supporter Shield standings, they sit right here in second, right under Vancouver. Charlotte are in third. Cincinnati are in fourth. We are in fifth with the game in hand. So if we win this game, we will get bumped to second. We would get bumped to second on goal difference, probably. San Diego's up there, since Minnesota's up there. This is a huge game. We've been playing bottom tier, or like lower half tier teams in this league up until now. Like, yeah, like LA was probably the hardest, and maybe Philly, and maybe Atlanta. So probably Atlanta, Philly, and maybe Charlotte were like the 3 biggest games that we had. I don't know. Actually, no, never mind. Now that I'm looking at it, we had a pretty competitive schedule. Never mind. In the Eastern Conference, with these Eastern Conference teams, they're pretty good now that I'm looking at it. But anyway, this Columbus team is going to be no different. This Columbus game is going to be no different. We're going to expect a lot from this team. And this is going to be this is like a rivalry game. This is a huge, huge rivalry game. 2 teams undefeated. I think the only 2 teams that are undefeated right now in the Eastern Conference, maybe even in the MLS. And they have such a well-structured team when it comes to literally in every single position. And how Columbus are doing, like the way that they're playing, the way that Wilfred Nancy is playing with this team, or that has been playing with this team, or has been managing this team, is very, very, like, a lot of people glaze it. A lot of people like hype him up. I'm one of those people. I think that he's one of the best managers in the league, and I'm pretty sure, I think he won Manager of the Season last year, and he deserves it 1,000%. This game is going to be super, super difficult. I think their main threats right now are Farsi on the right side, Diego Rossi up top, Schulte in goal. That's going to be huge. Gazdag, and I'm trying to think of others, but I can't really think of. I can't really think of them off the top of my head. Oh, Darlington Nagbe in the midfield. Darlington Nagbe is huge in the midfield. Here, let me see if I can show you guys this. This is their potential possible lineup. Possibly playing a 3-4-2-1, 3-4-3 kind of formation. This is going to suck to play against if we don't do it right. Guys, if you understand what I'm trying to say, let me see what you guys are saying in the comments real quick. Top one team in the league, then Vancouver is resting now does nothing for us. We have enough time to rest before the game. Yes, because our Vancouver game, the CONCACAF Champions Cup game against Vancouver, is not until Thursday. So we have plenty of time to rest between now and Thursday. We need to gather as many points as possible so we can rest later in the season. He's going back to Barca just for farewell. Let's be honest, Messi going to MLS did him more harm than good. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. Messi, it is true that you went to the Finalissima game in England. If it is, how is it to see? Yes, so that was the first time that I've seen Messi play a competitive game ever. That was my third ever time seeing Messi, I think. It was either second or third time. And it was my first competitive game. And being at Wembley Stadium, seeing Messi win the Finalissima, having them absolutely destroy Italy, I thought it was huge. It was absolutely massive for me. It was one of the better days of my life, one of the best days of my life, seeing Messi, seeing Argentina lift the trophy, and hopefully I get to see that happen again next year. I was gonna be there in the Copa America last year, but I decided not to go last minute, and honestly, I'm glad that I didn't because that environment was really, really bad. But anyways, hopefully I'll be able to get to see him next year lift the trophy. Messi's the winner. We need him at Inter Miami. Only second in MLS. The crew has not played any top 5 teams. Okay. Let's talk about that then. Here, let's look at the crew. And who have they played recently? The crew have played St. Louis. They've played Montreal, which is a trap game. They've played DC, who are not good. They played NYCFC, who are good. They played San Diego, who are good. They played LAFC, who are good. Houston are not good. Yeah, no. Oh, I'm assuming this is Champions Cup. They played New England, who are not bad. They played Chicago, who we tied against. So, I mean, they've played decent teams, guys. These guys played team like NYCFC, San Diego, St. Louis. I mean, like they beat St. Louis. That's supposed to be like they're supposed to be good, or maybe not. That was last year. I don't know. They beat LAFC, I think, in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. They tied to Houston, who we beat. They beat Chicago, who we tied. New England. I don't know. It's like it's still competitive. It's still going to be pretty competitive. Here, let's go back to the starting screen right here. If Messi wants to perform in the World Cup, he needs to go back to Europe. I disagree. Do people forget he was Henry's assistant? No way. Really? At Montreal? Because Henry coached at Montreal, right? Oh shit. I didn't even know that. Farsi is going to tear us up. That's going to be really, really bad. The Brown Stadium is grass. Yes, the Brown Stadium is grass. That's what I found out. Columbus and Vancouver are probably the best coach teams in the MLS right now. Good structure and discipline. That's what I want to get into. Like the discipline and the structure of this team is very, very impressive. Supposedly, they play very, very well out of the back, which we have struggled to do in the past. Now we do it a little bit better, but we still and they are really good at playing down the wings, which I think is going to suck for us, especially if we don't play players like Ashende, if we don't play players like Fafa, maybe Ian Frey or Chelo, because we can't play Lujan back here. If we play Jordi Alba, we'll be fine. We can't play Lujan. We either have to play Chelo, we have to play Frey. Obviously, I would prefer Frey because they're both quick. Chelo would probably leave us exposed if he pushes too high up. Tadeo Ashende could do us really, really well on counterattacks. Velasco Segovia, I'm not saying that he'll do bad, but like having somebody like Fafa or whoever would really, really bring us a lot of pace on that wing. Most likely Fafa. And then for the center two, I think Bushi and Bright would be the best center mid partnership for this type of game to really, really have a lock in the midfield. Because if they force us wide, we're gonna struggle. We're probably gonna lose, to be honest. If they force us out wide, we're probably gonna lose unless we set it up correctly. So we need to be able. Okay, if they try to go through the middle, we might have a chance of like defending it well, right? If they are going to try to go through the middle, which honestly is probably not going to happen if they have players like Farsi and whatever on the wings and Rossi and whoever in Gazdag, depending on how centrally they'll play, I don't know. If they play through the wings, we might be cooked. If we are able to close them down into the midfield and prevent Farsi and whoever to use their pace on those wings, on those flanks, I think we'll have a chance to at least defend well, against a very threatening, a very pacey Columbus team. Matty Ice, what's up, Ace Lionel? I love that nickname, dude. That's definitely grown on me. My Columbus is not good as last season. We should win, says Miami King. There is no way the Crew can defeat Miami. There's always a way, dude. In MLS, anything can happen. Columbus game will be training session for the Vancouver CCC game. I like your guys' confidence, to be honest. I honestly wasn't expecting this from some of you. I was definitely expecting more people to be like, yeah, this is going to be a good game. I'm hoping to win, whatever. But honestly, you guys aren't. Doesn't seem like you guys are worried about this game at all. I'm not saying that I'm worried about this game. I obviously have a lot of confidence in this team and for us to get the result. But I do think this is going to be a very competitive game. And I do believe genuinely that we're going to maybe not struggle, but we're going to be given a proper game, a real competitive game of soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. And this is a game that we have to win. And this is a game that we're going to have to win so we can go into Thursday first with fitness, sharpness and fitness. We definitely need that because between Saturday and Thursday, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time to get rest. So for fitness and for sharpness purposes, 1,000%. For confidence, 1,000%. Mental, we need the confidence. We need the ego boost because getting, what was it? Two draws? Like getting 2 draws. Did we get 2 draws back to back? Yeah, no, we got 2 draws back to back in the MLS because we tied against Toronto. Was it? We tied against Toronto and then we tied against Chicago. So getting 2 back-to-back draws in the MLS is not just not ideal at all. Like you just don't want that. You don't want 2 back-to-back draws in the MLS. And yeah, we beat LAFC in very dramatic fashion to go through the next round. But that's not until next week. And we have plenty of time to focus on that. We have to focus on tomorrow, getting everybody ready for tomorrow, getting ready to play against a very competitive Columbus team and the top 3 teams in the MLS right now. And we have to be ready to win. We have to be ready to win and give everything that we have. Like I said, if in order for us to win the game tomorrow, we probably have to stretch out that defense or stretch out their formation because if they're going to play a 3-4-3, if they're going to play a 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 or whatever, if they're going to play that, they're going to play wide as hell, hopefully. Because if they play wide offensively, we just have to narrow them. We just have to close them out, right? But defensively, for their defensive shape, if they go narrow, they're going to try to play narrow and then force us wide. That's going to be the struggle. We have to prevent that and somehow, some way, force them to spread out. If we can force Columbus to spread out and have their fullbacks and their center backs bite, then we can probably find the gap behind the defense. We need players like Messi and Suarez to act more as like bait and have players like Tadeo Ashende, have players like Fafa, have players like maybe Jordi Alba to maybe get those cuts in, maybe get like the inside run And we're going to need players like Boosie or whoever is the case. Maybe even Messi. He'll probably drop that deep. We're going to need players like that to put in the passes in behind into the half space if the defender bites up. Or like if the defender is caught out of position. So I think that's one way that we can beat them. We can probably beat them on I don't know about counterattacks, to be honest, because they're pretty quick. Columbus are pretty quick on counters, I think. I mean, like just based on them having really, really fast players, I think that playing a counterattacking style probably won't go the best. But we can definitely try. I mean, like if this is a team that likes to control possession and likes to just play like really high up in our own defensive third, then they're probably going to leave gaps exposed in the back at some point during the game. So if we press enough to the point where maybe we can catch them off, then maybe we're able to get a counter and possibly get an opportunity out of that. But it's going to be really tough because obviously we have to see how the game plans out or like plays out and see what kind of players are going to be selected for this team, which we're going to get to in a couple of minutes. I'll probably spend another 2 minutes or so talking about this, and then we'll get into a predicted starting 11 for myself and then from you guys as well, who you guys would prefer to see play on the field and who would you not rather see play tomorrow. Yeah, no. So counterattacks, I mean, like, I was watching the Battered Herons. Why do I say Herons? The Herons. The Battered Herons stream. I think it was yesterday I saw them. And I caught it briefly. I didn't catch the whole thing, but I caught it briefly. And there was a point where I caught them talking about set pieces. And I think that the guy, I think his name is Nate. Nate from Columbus, he was saying that Columbus are not good on set pieces. I don't know if that was attacking set pieces or defending set pieces, but if they are bad at defending set pieces, we should be fine because I think we're not that bad on set pieces. On set pieces, we actually should be pretty like good. And I'm not talking about just simply relying on Messi to just like scoring a banger or something, like from a free kick from like 20 yards, 30 yards out. I'm talking about like proper like set pieces, like something that we probably prep at the training ground. I'm trying to see if there's a stat for that, but I don't think that there is. I don't see it. No, I don't see a stat for specifically set pieces. Errors leading to goal. No, I don't see a stat on that. But supposedly they're not good at set pieces, like just set pieces in general. So whether that's attacking, whether that's defending, that's honestly good for us because defending wise, I think we'll be pretty good, especially in the air when we have players like Maxi Falcon, with players like Aviles if he plays. Noah Allen obviously won't be doing the best in the air. He'll be good, he'll be good with recovery, defensive transitions, things like that. He'll be doing good with that. Jordi Alba's the same way. He'll be good with defensive transition, recoveries, things like that. In the air, not so much. Ian Frey in the air should be fine. He should be good. Cello in the air, I don't know. I'm not really sure on that one, but I think yeah, that's just kind of what I believe. Honestly, I'm trying to see how accurate they are. They have so far. I'm looking at stats here, and it says Columbus have 0 errors that lead to a goal. They have 2 errors that led to a shot. They average about 2.4 saves a game. They average about 12.4 tackles a game. This is just defense, right? Compared to us, we average about 3 saves a game. We average 19.6 tackles a game, so we make a lot of tackles. What else can we compare? Balls recovered per game, Columbus 51.8, Inter Miami 52.4. Passing accuracy, ball possession. Columbus have 58.5% ball possession. Inter Miami have what? Inter Miami have 54%. So that's going to be even as well. Columbus will probably have more possession in tomorrow's game because we're not really a team that controls possession necessarily, like in terms of just like, you know what I'm trying to say? But we do normally have that kind of dominant factor because a lot of the teams that we play are very, very defensive. Do we know why we bought a new international spot from Seattle? We talked about that earlier. We assume, or I originally assumed that it was going to be for Baltasar, but I was also speculating like, oh, maybe we can use that for like Neymar or Kevin De Bruyne or something. But like to be realistic and to be like reasonable, it's most likely for Baltasar. So hopefully it's not like we don't get your hopes up on that, or hopefully that didn't really get anybody's hopes up because it did for me for a little bit. But anyway, so we'll see what happens. But I think those are the ways that I think we could beat them in terms of tactically and and maybe and formations wise and things like that, and all those other strategies. In terms of personnel, in terms of who should be playing, let's get into that. Who should be playing? Who should not be playing? Redondo has already been said that he's out or he's questionable, but most likely he will not be playing. I think he had like a calf injury or a hamstring injury or whatever. Baltasar is not going to be available. David Ruiz is still not available. Ryan Saylor is not available, the center back. So we don't have, I guess, a back. Well, Ryan Saylor is like our fourth choice center back, so that really doesn't matter. David Ruiz hasn't played in literally forever, so that low-key doesn't matter either. Redondo out as well. This kind of matters. Like the fact that David Ruiz is, I guess David Ruiz is still out, and the fact that Redondo is going to be questionable now. Now, the only center mids that we really have now are Busi, Bright, Cremashi, or Kremaki, and Telasco. He's a center mid. But in terms of, I think that's it. And then maybe like Santi Morales or something, but like he's not really like a center mid. He's like a cam. He's a very forward player, attacking minded player. So, but in terms of defensive minded players, we don't have anybody. We don't have that. We don't have that person. So it's gonna be up to Bright and to Busi. I don't know if Busi and Bright are gonna be playing a full 90 minutes tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but it's gonna be interesting to see how we're gonna run that midfield or what kind of changes we're gonna make. I'm assuming players like Delasco is gonna sit out maybe for a half because it's like we're gonna need that rotation in the midfield. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. But let's start with the goalkeeper. I think Ostadi is gonna start. If he's fit and ready to play, he's gonna start. So let's just start there. And you guys let me know in the comments right now who you think is gonna play. Starting with the goalkeeper, going up from the defense to the midfield, and then the forwards. I think so. Ustadi in net for the defense. I think Jordi Alba is going to obviously start for, in my opinion, because he should. He's our best player. He's our best left back, and in a game like this is a game that he has to play. For the defense, Maxi has to play as well. He's our best defender, best center back. He's going to be good in the air. He's good on the transitions. He makes great tackles. He fires up the defense, and he's honestly just a wall. Like he's quite literally the best center back I think that we've had at this club in the whole history, right? So I'm hoping for Maxi to start. For the other center back, I'm so torn between Toto and Noah, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Noah is such a great player. Like Noah Allen will forever have my support. He will forever have my backing as a starter on this team, as a wide center back, a wide left center back for this team to cover the spaces that Jordi Alba leaves behind him. But I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like maybe this isn't the type of game for Noah Allen. Like maybe we're going to need somebody like Aviles, who's a little bit more physical, who can be a little bit more dominant in the air. And I'm not saying that Noah Allen can't be those things, but I think that Toto maybe has him on those two categories right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if Noah Allen hit the bench and maybe got some minutes off the bench, but I don't know. I'm assuming that it's going to be a Maxi Toto Aviles type of partnership. I think at the right back position, I'm hoping it's Ian Frey. My gut wants Ian Frey. My heart wants Ian Frey, but my head is telling me that it's going to be Chelo. I'm going to assume that it's Chelo. So we're going to go with Chelo, and that's going to be the defense. Ustari, Alba, Maxi, Toto, Chelo. I think that's going to be the defense. That's what my head is saying. Baltasar is already injured. Yes, Baltasar is not ready. He's injured. He pulled a hammy. So he's not going to be, according to the MLS injury report for match day 9, it says that he is not available. As you can see right here, these are the 4 players that are not available for the game tomorrow. Whether, I don't know what it's going to be like for Thursday. I don't know if Baltasar is going to see the field on Thursday against Vancouver. We'll just have to wait and see. But for tomorrow, he's not available. Like and subscribe. Yeah, guys, if you're new, if you're enjoying the stream, if you're enjoying the live discussion, partaking in it, etc., please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share it with your friends. That just really, really helps out the channel, really helps out the content, really helps me out. So it's free. It takes a second. And I really appreciate everybody's support, just being here in the comments, all the subscribers, all the commenters, all the donors, etc. So you guys are awesome. Thank you, Sean, for that shout out. Damn, they should just play Obando and Baltasar. They should just play Obando Baltasar in this game. This game is useless. Well, they can't play Baltasar, but Obando would be interesting to see because we've only seen Obando come on one time, and that was against what? Chicago? No. Was it against Toronto? Toronto. I think it was against Toronto, where he had a couple of opportunities in front of the net. He looked a little bit nervous, etc., etc. I've always said that we kind of need Obando, or like Suarez would probably play really well if you had like another striker partnership there alongside with Messi. But I'm not sure. Let's go to the midfield before I talk about Suarez, because I'm gonna have like a 5-minute discussion about Suarez in just a second. But for the midfield, for the 2 center mids, I think it's a no-brainer with Bushi and Bright. I think that those are the only options that we could play. It gives us great defensive support. It gives us a good base, and I think we can really, really lock down the midfield defensively using them. Meaning, like I said, if we force them narrow, if we force them through the middle, I think that with Bushi, with Bright, with our other central players, I think that we will be able to lock them down. For the outside players, our wingers, wide midfielders, whatever you want to call them, I really hope it's not like a Telasco and Benja situation again. I really don't want to see that. I don't think it's going to be the best option for a team that plays very wide. I mean, it also kind of depends on how you think about it, because if you do play wide midfielders, then you can, if you do force them narrow, you'll just have more midfielders, like central midfielders, like at your disposal. But I don't know. Like, I just don't want to see Benja and Telasco play as the wide midfielders, if that makes sense. I think that Tadeo Ashende on the, the left or the right? I think he plays the right mainly. Is it the right or the left? I honestly can't remember now. It's either the right or left. Baltasar, Tadeo Ashende in one of the spots, and then Fafa as the other winger. I think both of them provide pace. Fafa is more of a wide player. Tadeo Ashende is more of a narrow player. He'll probably make those cuts into the half spaces, like I said, behind the defense. He could probably dribble into the box, take a shot, whatever the case may be. He can be dominant in the air. I think he's like 6'1". He should be dominant in the air. So if Fafa ever makes those crosses into the box, Tadeo Ashende could be waiting at the back post. So I think that Tadeo Ashende would be a good shout. I think Fafa is going to be a good shout. And I think for the strikers, I mean, it has to be, I sigh because it has to be Messi and Suarez, but I really want to see Obando and Suarez. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we see something like Messi playing right wing again, or like something like that, right? Like he'll probably play back, and then maybe we'll see like Obando. I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like if Messi, it's tough. Because we can't, I feel like we can't play with 2 strikers with Messi. Like, does that make sense? Like, I feel like it's either 2 strikers and no Messi, or the 2 strikers is Messi, and you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't think we can. I don't know. Maybe you guys can try to put a different idea in my head, but it's very difficult for me to see a team with Obando, Suarez, and Messi, unless Obando plays wide. But I don't think that's going to happen, and that probably shouldn't happen for the best, for everyone's sake. I don't think that should happen. Because, like, my reasoning with that is Obando and Suarez would be up top, and then Messi would play like the cam roaming playmaker type in central areas. I mean, like, yes, he can drift wide, but then someone is still going to have to cover that wide space when he's not there. And who is that going to be? Chelo? Bright? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have to be like another attacking player. But if we put an attacking player there, then that will leave us pretty either exposed or vulnerable in when we have to transition on defense. If it's Velasco Segovia, like Velasco Segovia would probably be ideal. Baltasar would probably be ideal for this situation. But I don't know. It's going to be very, very tough. I'm still going to go with Messi and Suarez as my prediction. You guys can let me know right now in the comments who you would rather see. But Natalia saying Chelo and Toto can start, but please sub them off for Frey Noah Allen if they are ineffective and Mascherano really wants to stick to his game plan. Do you predict a Suarez masterclass? Yes. Masterclass, I don't know, but I do think that Suarez is going to get back into form in this game. I think. I hope. I'm hoping. I'm really just hoping at this point. Whether he does or not, I don't know. I can't tell the future, but really, like, he has to get back into form because there's no way that we're going to have to go another week wondering if Suarez is going to be in form or not. Because if he shows us that he can be in form now, tomorrow, then that gives me a lot of confidence going into Thursday because he's going to have a lot of rest. He had a hell of a showing on Saturday against Columbus. Cool. He'll have like 5 days of rest, whatever the case may be. And then hopefully, just pray, like just pray at that point. I don't know. I'll talk about that in a sec. I'll get to the other comments and then we'll talk about a little bit more about Suarez. Can we not start Suarez for once? That guy needs to rest, says Gel Ratko. Sean says we need to see anybody at striker for 60 minutes at least once, and we have yet to see that. Great info, feedback, and participation. Vamos inter carajo. Why can't we play with 2 strikers? Oh, I already said that. Tadeo Ashende plays on the right, but yeah, take a risk with Fafa on the left this match, please. I want to see Taylor on the left and Velasco on the right, or Fafa on the right. Suarez needs to come off the bench. We need to press. Okay. I like this idea by Hernan. But it's like, is Suarez really going to sit out? Like, really? Like, how many of you really believe that Suarez is not going to play tomorrow? Like, let's just be for real. Like, let's be for real. Suarez has yet to be benched in the last year. Like, in the last year that he's been here, he has been benched, what? Twice, 3 times? Like, he is never benched. And I highly doubt that he'll be benched for a game against Columbus, where we have 5 days of rest until the Vancouver game. I highly doubt that's going to happen. With Gustavo saying Taylor on the left, Taylor will be interesting. He'll just be, I guess he could be like another forward, like an inside forward, like he always has been. I mean, he can play wide. Taylor has been kind of in a slump these last, I think, 2 games? He's been kind of I don't think we can play Tadeo and Taylor at the same time. So if we play Taylor and have him play as like an inside forward or like an inside winger or whatever you would want to call it, then we would have to play like a natural, like just like a wide winger on the other flank. I just don't want to play with 2 inside wingers. I think that's just gonna, because I want to play with players that can force Columbus wide. So then we can trick them and then go forward. That could be too obvious, right? That could be honestly just insanely obvious, and probably with Nancy would probably be able to counter that. But that's that's my simple, basic thinking of the game. So, then that's why I'm not a coach. But, that's just like my understanding of the game. Suarez is going to have to do the dirty work. I'm sorry he has to, though. A good coach would bench him. Suarez is going to step up, especially if he gets a week's rest. Suarez will play the 90 minutes again tomorrow. It's just part of his weight loss program. If Mascherano can't even tell Suarez to hit the bench, not even once, who will? Nobody's going to be able to tell Suarez that he not going to play. Like, Suarez will actually get, like, imagine if some random coach is coaching Inter Miami this year and he tells Suarez, you're on the bench today. Like, Suarez would actually bite his neck off, like, clean, like a zombie. Like, there's just no way. Suarez is the jury work on offense and talks to the referee. Yeah, I mean, like, that's definitely, like, Suarez, obviously, and I've talked about this before. I've talked about this in I think it was in the post-game reaction to the Chicago game. Suarez, we all know that Suarez is in this slump. We all know that he hasn't been rested, that he's just been playing every single minute, and he's in this slump, and maybe a rest will do him well, just to maybe give him a different perspective. Maybe that's the case. That's just very hypothetical. But a player of Suarez's caliber, like, you shouldn't have to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's Luis Suarez. Like, you've played bigger games. You've played in bigger stadiums, had bigger moments. Like, this slump, I'm not saying that it should be easy, but it shouldn't have to take you being benched to realize that you're in this slump and trying to get yourself out of it. We've talked about, like, he's had multiple opportunities in front of net, sometimes even just like here you go, silver platter goal, and he would miss him. He wouldn't even put him on target. And we've criticized him for that. I think he obviously knows. He obviously knows that he's in this slump, and he knows that he wants to do better. He knows that what he's doing is not good enough, and he wants to score. I think that that's going to change. I'm hoping that that's going to change tomorrow against Columbus. We're playing in Ohio in buttfuck cold. Like, it's going to be like freezing. Like, they're going to be freezing their ass off. And I hope that doesn't play a factor, but I think it will be. And that's probably going to affect my decision, my prediction at the end of this discussion in a couple of minutes. But I don't know. I'm hoping I want Suarez to play the full 90. Like, I do. I want him to play the full 90 if he looks good. If he's not looking good, then take him off. Take him off in the 70th. Take him off in the 60th. Whatever the case may be, just take him off. But I want Suarez to start. I want to see him get back into the form that we're used to seeing Suarez in. In terms of, because, like, we can't rely on Obando. It's just facts. Like, Obando is young. He's 18. He's like 6'1" or whatever. I understand that he's promising, but, like, we don't know this guy. There isn't trust yet between us. If there shouldn't be that much trust between us and Obando yet, to the point where we're starting him over Suarez, and then we're gonna put that pressure on Obando. It just doesn't make any sense. We can't be putting that pressure on Obando. We could probably put it on Tadeo Ashende, because he is one to score goals and get into those positions and be pretty clinical, to get in behind the defense, to press, to make those runs, etc. But to Obando, I'm not expecting that. He's 18. He's new. He looked nervous his first time playing for us. You know, so I don't know. I'm not expecting a lot from Obando. So that's what I'm saying. Let's play Suarez. If he looks good, let him play the full 90. If he doesn't, have him sit next to Mascherano. Is it turf or grass? It's grass. I'm pretty. I forget who said it. Somebody said it was grass because they're playing in the Brown Stadium, in the Cleveland Browns Stadium. Cleveland Browns Stadium, grass or turf? It says here it's grass. It says it's specifically Kentucky bluegrass, whatever the fuck that means. The stadium also features underground heating system, so the field is in good condition throughout the year, even during cold weather. So we shouldn't have to worry about the field. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, where was I going with that? What were we just talking about? Suarez, right? Yeah, I don't know. 60s and rain tomorrow. See what I mean? Matt, you think Vancouver is the real deal, or is it just the media overhyping them? Well, Vancouver are first in the Supporter Shield standings right now, and I think they're first in the Western Conference. So I haven't seen a Vancouver Whitecaps game, but I'm sure that they're really good. I mean, media are always going to overhype a team that are doing very well, especially if it's a team that's not Miami. I mean, like, I think like that would be just like good headlines. Um, it's good for the brand too. So the media are just going to hype up any team that's doing well, to just show that the league is a very competitive league. You know what I'm saying? But I believe it. I believe that they're playing well. I mean, like, it's not like I feel like. I mean, to me personally, like I feel like it's not like Vancouver to be top of the league right now. Maybe it's just early days, but it's kind of crazy to me. Um, if a bundle looks bad after the first 45, then we always have Suarez. So what does it matter? Because Suarez is our main guy. So it's like I don't want to treat Suarez like he's not our main guy. And I think subbing him off at 45 minutes or 60 minutes or whatever, I think is better doing that than having him get subbed in at the 60th, 70th, whatever minute. I just don't think I don't think I don't I could be completely wrong. Like this is I don't know. This is just me like guessing, assuming, whatever. I just don't think Suarez is going to have an impact for the last 15 minutes of the game off the bench. I think he'll start off slow because he always starts off the game slow. He'll start off the games like a little bit slow. Then as like maybe like a little bit into the first half, he'll get into it and then he'll be on it until like at some point, like maybe halfway through the second half, then he'll like go slow again. So it's like it's very like back and forth. I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong. You may disagree with me, but I just would rather see Suarez start at least and then have him come off if he's playing bad. Because I feel like that's more of a statement in my opinion. If you're starting and you're playing bad and then you come off and get subbed off for a bundle, that's like shit. I played like ass. And the players know that. The players like, yeah, I just played like ass. That's why I'm getting subbed off in the 60th minute. And that's why I didn't play the full 90. So it's Kentucky Bluegrass. You're just copying me. It will play fast unless they leave it uncut. Vancouver is a story the owners want to sell because it can keep the team competitive. Vancouver beat two strong Mexican teams. They are the real deal, says Red Rocco. I like that. I like that. But we're going to talk about Vancouver after Columbus. Let's talk about Vancouver after Columbus. Let's focus on Columbus right now because we're going to get hyped. We're going to get freaking hyped for this Vancouver game. It's a 10:30 p.m. kickoff Eastern time. So Western time, that's what? 8:30, 7:30. So good for you guys on the West Coast, but us on the East Coast, it's a 10:30 p.m. Kickoff. Most likely will not do the post-game reaction that day, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, let's do predictions, guys, before we wrap things up. We're at 57 minutes. Let's do some predictions for tomorrow. This is honestly going to be the first time that I'm predicting a tie. I think this is the first time I'm predicting a tie. Doing these after each live discussion. But I just assume if we play the way that we've been playing against a competitive Columbus team with offensive threats, with defensive security, I think that we're going to be able to give them a competitive game, but maybe just not enough to take them all the way. I honestly, if Farsi does some damage, if Diego Rossi scores a banger, if Schulte has the game of his life, if Darlington Nagbe controls that midfield the way that he's supposed to and dictate the game, like if he's like our version of Busquets tomorrow, then they're going to have us on lock. And so I think that I want to go for a 2-2 draw, but for some reason, there's like a feeling where it's like, no, I feel like we're not going to be able to score 2. I don't know. Like, am I crazy for thinking that? Maybe I'm going to say, nah, you know what? I'll go with it. I'll stick with it. I know it's going to be a tie for sure. And then with the score line specifically, I'm going to say 2-2. I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-2 draw at Ohio, at Columbus, in the rain, in the cold. Even though we need this win for all other reasons, I think that we're going to tie. That's my realistic approach. That's my realistic opinion and my realistic prediction. I'm hoping we don't tie. I'm hoping that we win. And I'm hoping if we do tie, that it doesn't feel like a loss. Like if we tie tomorrow, I just hope that it's not like, no, we should have put 5 past them. Suarez had like 3 open chances in front of net. Ocean, they had an open chance, 5-5, whatever. Like, hopefully it's not that way. Hopefully, if we are in front of the net, we are able to finish. You know what I'm trying to say? Hopefully, we can be clinical in front of the net. Hopefully, we can be just a wall on defense and just stop everything that's coming our way. And we just kind of hope and pray. But I think it's going to be 2-2. I think it's going to be 2-2. Let's see what you guys have to say in the comments. Let's see. Gustavo says 3-1. Vancouver never beat anyone. They tied with everyone. Well, I mean, they're still like top of the support show standings. Monterrey and Pumas aren't playing so great this season. Let's just say that either I will win money tomorrow or I bought myself a win. I did not put any money on the game. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll bet against Inter Miami. So then, like, I could try to reverse psychology that shit. Natalia says 2-1 to Inter Miami. Joe Radico says Vancouver never beat them, yes, but in the context of CONCACAF, that's still a victory for them. Circus also says 2-2. We never have the lead. So you think 2-2, and we're coming back from being down every time. Okay, interesting. I'm fine with the draws to Spider Pig. Give me a result though. Give me a prediction. Like, give me a proper score. Because we have Circus saying 2-2. We have Natalia saying 2-1. We have Gustavo saying 3-1. I think it's going to be 2-2, guys. I genuinely think it's going to be 2-2. Both teams tie and stay undefeated. That's true. And then the headlines are ruined. After that, the headlines are ruined. Because everybody's either waiting to write, oh, Miami's undefeated streak is broken, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think that is gone. I think Inter Miami wins 2-1. Okay, these are fair results. These are fair predictions. I'm still sticking with my 2-2 draw. I really hope I'm just wrong. I just really hope I'm wrong in the sense that we win. And I hope that we play a really good game. As long as we play a good game tomorrow, if we look good, if we feel good in the Ohio cold, then I think that we're going to be feeling somewhat good in Vancouver for this first leg. Hopefully, I'm hoping that's like the best case situation. Joe Ratko says 1-1, but please no injury. One thing for sure is that you in the post-game reaction met for another therapy session. I really hope not. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. So tomorrow I think is a 4:30 kickoff. Yes, it's a 4:30 kickoff Eastern time. That means the game should be done around like 6 o'clock or so. Post-game reaction should be around there at 6 o'clock. And then it'll probably be very brief, depending on how the game goes, honestly, because I do have plans after the game. So I want to make sure I commit to those plans and not be late, honestly. But no, I think this is more important. This comes first. So stay tuned for the post-game reaction tomorrow around 6 o'clock. And then it'll either be a therapy session or just me jumping out of my seat full of joy. So hopefully I can see you guys then. Mirna, last minute, says 1-0 to Miami. I like it. I'll still take a win. So it doesn't matter. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this live stream, this live discussion. Inter Miami versus Columbus. We prep for tomorrow. 2 undefeated teams in the MLS face each other in what hopes to end the other person's streak or the other team's streak. Will we see it happen? We just have to see. We have to see if Messi's going to play, if Suarez is going to play. Are they going to get some rest? Hopefully not. But we're going to see all of that tomorrow. Stay tuned for the post-game reaction tomorrow as well. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be tweeting. I'll be posting in the live or in the community tab on YouTube as well. So I'll post updates of that sort of nature. But if you enjoyed this live discussion, participating in the chat, etc., hit like, hit subscribe, share it with your friends so we can grow this community together. We have more people in the chat to interact with and to share more opinions with. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, with a win and in good spirits. Bye, Miami. Have a good night, guys.
¿Qué mira, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo.